Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be returning to Sid Meier's Gettysburg, the 1997 wargaming classic, and this is part 3 of our Let's Play of the Grand Campaign playing through as the Confederacy. So far things haven't gone well, although in my defense, we're losing where we're supposed to if this is to model history. We lost the Battle of McPherson's Hill. We were held back by Cutler and Meredith's brigades. We then fought the Battle of Oak Hill in our last video, and were defeated once again tactically by the Union. As has become the norm, they are inflicting far heavier casualties on us than us on them, which is a problem when you consider they outnumber us in this battle. Now, the interesting thing is most of the scenarios are pretty even. They do a really good job of making these scenarios well balanced without not being historical. Almost all the battles in real life were incredibly balanced from a manpower perspective. Even the attacks on Sickles, he put up a pretty strong fight, and the way the Confederates come in echelon means that the Union was able to send in reserves or reinforcements to prevent from being overwhelmed too much at any one period of time, except perhaps for around the Peach Orchard. But anyway, I digress. That's a topic for another time. This is part 3 of our look at Sid Meier's Gettysburg. In this video, we will be attacking with General Early's division of Ewell's Corps on the flank of the Union Army up near Barlow's Knoll, so named after the Union general commanding the division there, General Francis Barlow. The game, interestingly enough, treats him as sort of one of the mediocre commanders, although he is actually a very good commander in real life. He was a very hard fighter who was present most of the way through the rest of the war, despite some rough handling at Gettysburg. With that being said, our division is going to come in on the flank of the Federal Army. Skirmishers are probably going to be an issue here, but we'll see if we can push through the flank and take our 2 objectives. This was taken from a live stream from a couple of days ago, so I'm going to go ahead and step back, turn it over to my live stream myself. Hope you guys can sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let me know your thoughts below, and I'll meet you guys at the end. Breathe. Sorry, that was weird. So far, the battle is not going our way. 2 tactical defeats, both at McPherson's Hill and Will's Woods, and we're coming up to Richard Ewell coming down the flank.
Forced to bear immediately. Rhodes has met stiff resistance and has been stopped on all right.
Yes, sir. What can I do, General?
General Lee has ordered an advance on all fronts, and your division is coming up behind the enemy's flank on that knoll there.
Say no more, sir. I'll have my division in Gettysburg town shortly, and we'll pitch our tents on that knoll tonight.
You must hold this position at the end of the battle. This is your best brigade. More infantry and artillery are coming up.
All right, so we've got 5,000 men initially in position here. Doles, who was just engaged, bringing his troops forward. The knoll is the key to this battle, but the almshouse, I think, is what you need to make it decisive. If you just take the knoll, though, I think you get the historical, that's considered like the historical outcome. Alright, we're just going to try and charge these skirmishers with one of the regiments out of the way. Why are you guys retreating? It's a frickin' skirmish line. Break these fucks. They shouldn't be able to melee in a skirmish line. Keep driving them. There's nothing I hate more than skirmishers. Skirmishers are... I despise skirmishers. They're like my snipers. So Doles is engaging these feds. Over in front of the knoll. Avery and Gordon are advancing here on those units' flank. Hayes is coming in here and maneuver to flank the almshouse. At least that's the objective. Alright, so Doles is still engaged with these guys in the woods. And again, with all these troops coming in their flank, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to get in on the flank of the almshouse. I'm gonna keep trying to charge these fucks out of the way. Joker skirmishers. These guys are all still healthy. They should eat up the majority of any reinforcements that are coming. Confederates approach the knoll.
Reporting, General.
New enemy officer spotted. I think that was just Von Glees. I wonder if those are skirmishers or not. Look kind of spread out. Got Smith's brigade also back here. We'll move Smith up in reserve for a push on the almshouse. Move our artillery back here, which is not doing much, frankly, to aid our attack. I feel like half these enemy units have to be in skirmish column formation. Those Federals have to be flanked and about run. Two brigades on Hayes' flank, or the two regiments on Hayes' flank, are not in as good a shape. Some of these units must have gotten lost in the shuffle when I brought forward those troops to face the skirmishers. You guys are definitely spread out. Skirmish column. Formation. That's not a column. Alright, we'll swing in behind with one line of the knoll.
Good work, General.
More Yankee infantry coming in on our flank. I think that at least they're not going in on Doles' flank. They're going in to try and stabilize the line in and around the Bluchers knoll. These guys have to be in skirmisher. There's like 5 bodies between them. You guys are going to go over here. Face that enemy counterattack. Where are the reserves, by the way? I have more? I thought I had more troops that came in. Apparently not. Alright. Early, you're in the way. Can't click on the guy I want to click on, who has infantry back here. Bravery. Engaged. Smith, you're gonna come here, put together a battle line. One of Dole's regiments just got routed. I think it was on the flank, actually. How are these guys pretty much surrounded and still fighting on?
Take cover, man! Can't do that, General!
Alright, these skirmishers. This unit's getting just shot to pieces, I think. Alright, so that Union regiment is routed, I think. If not, it's certainly retreating. Now, so is this other unit. Knoll should be secured.
Reporting, General.
Maybe not, though. They've still got a lot of fucking regiments. All pouring fire into us. Another enemy brigade's coming up because, good God, the Federals don't get enough reinforcements. And I think we may have missed our window here. Gonna put a few brigades on this flank here if they go up and over. Hopefully that allows us to still maintain the pressure going on the actual objective. Because the other thing I don't understand is why these two guys are like clumped up behind each other and how they're both still engaged. Because certainly our troops, the troops we command, they can't do that. They'd be shooting through each other. Alright, so we've got those two regiments spreading out to guard our flank. Meanwhile, these guys should be getting a better lick on Krasinski than they're receiving because they're in wooded terrain and he's not. We're going to move this artillery forward a little bit, that we're in a little bit closer range. The closer you are, the more deadly you are, especially for Napoleons. A little bit less so for rifled guns. Both Georgia's hanging in there. They're in a precarious spot with 3 regiments firing on them, but they've got 3 regiments firing in on the one Federal regiment on the flank, too. I'm going to advance the 52nd Virginia a bit to take some pressure off these guns so then I can fire, hopefully, what is some devastating fire into these Yankees here in the center. Ah. One of Smith's brigade's regiments routed. Probably the one I gave the hold order to. My own artillery is firing here at close range into the enemy. I'm not sure if they're taking any fire. It doesn't look like it, which is good news. So they're shooting at this close unit, but they're being shot at by this far unit. I don't understand this game sometimes. Both my skirmishers and my line infantry, though, are shooting at this infantry regiment. One would hope it will rout soon. These guys are not shooting at anyone. Who's retreating? I don't even... Okay, that one was ours. Alright, you're gonna stay there. So you fucking rout them. Alright, now these guns are taking some fire. Alright, again, it's hard sometimes to tell when there's an enemy unit that is skirmishers or when there's an enemy unit that's in line. Alright, we just routed those guns. And that infantry. That whole line is going to buckle now. The almhouse should be... Oh! More infantry? At least one regiment. How much time do we have? Still got at least more than 5 minutes. Alright, these guys retreated. Bring your brigade forward, sir. What's left of it. Again, these guys are in frickin' skirmisher formation. I don't think we have time. The troops that we do have that are almost on top of the almhouse are probably going to break any minute. Yep, one of them just broke. And another one. I don't know where the actual trigger point is for the almhouse, though. Federals sure have a lot of guns that are going to be firing into our flank, though, if we advance up this way. Alright, so we're at the 10-minute mark, so we should still have the 5-minute mark, I think. Alright, we're at the 5-minute mark. All these federal flags, their morale makes it look like they're used up, and yet they're still hanging in here. Yeah, you're right. The Federals must be paying for their new units. They probably spent some money to pull them off Cemetery Hill. So Blucher's Knoll, I think, is good enough to give us a victory. Could be wrong, but I believe that will give us a win. Alright, we'll see how this one... A marginal Union victory. So they scored more points than us. We lost 2,100 men, they lost 1,500. So again, we lose more men than they do. Nonetheless, it's called a marginal victory. So 2 tacticals and a marginal for the Union. And that's the end of July 1st. Well, that wasn't a good first day of the fight.
Have you walked among our camps this evening, General Lee?
I have indeed, sir. It weighs heavy on my heart to see our men in such a broken state after this sorry day's affair. General Longstreet, we must resolve to do better in tomorrow's contest. We must look more carefully to our planning and execution, so that these brave souls who rely on us for guidance may yet win the victory we seek.
Well, there you heard it from Robert E. Lee's own mouth. Another Confederate defeat. Another Confederate defeat means a terrible day for the Confederates on July 1st. Repulsed on McPherson's Hill, repulsed on Oak Hill, coming down on the Federal flank, in behind Howard's army, and yet we are defeated once more by the Federals. Not a good day for the Confederate forces. Hopefully July 2nd will be a better day. We'll see what that game has in store for us next time. The kind of neat thing is this game does allow for sort of that dynamism in the game, in the results, in the battles that you fight. So, you know, with these defeats and without the failure to successfully drive the Federals north of Gettysburg, we're likely not going to have a July 2nd that looks anything like the historical July 2nd. But that'll be for the next video. That'll be for part 4. Until then, guys, I hope you're enjoying the series, as I am. And it's the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.